we have got ourselves game number 2 here between True and Bly. This is of course the best of 5 from the round of 16, so we are a long way in to the tournament, but we still got quite the long way ahead of us as well. So game number 1 ended in a very interesting fashion, not the typical kind of game. The score will not be displayed for this to see who actually won it until 1 minute into the game, in case somebody's watching this on YouTube. Of course, we don't want any spoilers. So on the bottom right hand side here, we've got ourselves Bly. He's on Team Expert. His name is Aleksandr Svusuyk, 29 years old, and he's from Ukraine. His opponent is True, the Red Zerg. It's a really weird name to say when you're actually talking about stuff, because then you've got yourself as if you're saying it's true or false. Very awkward. Anyways, Team PSISTORM Gaming, Tae Soo is his name, 25 years old, from South Korea. Now, let's see, are these players going to start different? And indeed they are. They're both throwing down their hatcheries first on this game. Score is now going to be displayed, just so you know. True is currently on 1, so the first game actually ended with a base trade situation going on, where both players just decided to not fight each other's army. I don't know whether they weren't comfortable, they didn't know who had the bigger army, or whether they just didn't want to, or whether they just thought that they had the advantage in that sense. So True actually destroyed Bly's base. There was no GG, it just ended because Bly's base was destroyed, and that's pretty much it. So True's on 1, Bly on 0. Let's see how this one starts out. Now, in the previous game, by the way, it actually started off looking like it was going to be a all-in cheesy kind of game, like a typical Zerg versus Zerg, but both players actually decided to start expanding after the first 8 to 10 Zerglings. So it did work out quite nicely, I think. Not too bad, especially considering the way the game ended was very unique and very different to a lot of games that end these days. So let's see how this one plays out. As you can see here, Zergling on the way for both players. Everything quite standard for a normal game, not a rushed weird game like in the previous one. And Zergling speed is a little bit earlier for True as well. Now Bly probably going to throw down that speed as soon as that's ready as well. Is he going to throw that speed? Bly? Where's the speed, Bly? 120 gas. He's building up a lot of gas here, not actually taking his metabolic boost, which is a bit odd. His opponent, True, has now got his metabolic boost about half complete at this point, and there's just gas stacking up here for Bly. I wonder, is he doing something else with it? Because it certainly doesn't look like he is going for... Oh, look at that. So he's going for that layer pretty much immediately. Now I wonder, is this going to be some sort of mutaplay? Because this is a very, very swift layer. Baneling Nest coming down from True. Now let's see, there's not enough gas to support Mutalisks, so a layer this early, so we have roaches on the way. Roach Hydra, I mean, he's still not building gas anymore, so I mean, I suppose he'd probably want to start building gas at this point if he was going for a Roach Hydra army. But he 100% does not have enough for Mutalisks. Oh, there we go, 2 more gases being thrown down now. Third base coming down from True, so True definitely working on getting his eco up very, very quickly. He seems to understand that Bly is not too interested in a rush right now. Now I'm gonna admit that back when I used to cast Bly in the past, he rushed a lot. Like, he really loved his rushes, and in this scenario he does not seem to think that that's a good idea. Now he's got level 1 weapons. Oh, there we go. So he's actually going for a Nidus Worm. Now that's an interesting choice of tech, because he's completely blocking off his entrance here. He does not seem to want to leave it or let anything in. Now the question is going to be whether True is actually going to realize what's going on. He's gotten himself... I mean, he's going for the lair as well. He's got himself a Roach Warren. Bly already has the Roach Warren done, and he even has roaches on the way. So, I mean, it's certainly looking quite good for Bly to get the upper hand in the engagement here. So we'll see what's going on here. There we go. The Roach Warren is up. And does True see this? Let's have a look. He certainly does. He does see this coming up here. So how is he going to respond to this Nidus Worm coming up? There's a lot of Roaches going to pour out of here at the moment. Roaches, Queens, everything is coming out right now. And as you can see, one Zergling not, of course, able to do a whole lot. It did kill off 4 drones, but not going to really be... sorry, there was probably a bit more than one Zergling. There was probably 8 of them. But 4 taken out, and now Bly pretty much has his own army inside of True's base, while True can't really do a whole lot. Now he is getting surrounded here, and this is a big deal. There's so many drones going to be destroyed here in this engagement. Regardless of whether Bly loses this army or not, it's going to be a very tough situation for True to get out of, because Bly can still reinforce his army, whereas True is going to lose a lot of his units here, or a lot of his worker count. So as you can see here, wait, hold. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah. Thrown off a little bit there. So Bly's army is completely decimated at this point. He's got almost nothing to defend his base right now. He's obviously going to have to build up quite a few units to defend off against any counterattack, but he's done so much economic damage. I mean, look at the workers, 22 to 41. Now the question is, of course, if you look at True's base, he does have a 3rd expansion already up, so he could potentially build up his army or his worker supply quite quickly, but he has a long way to go. Now if he gives his opponent the time to recover out of this harassment, then it's not really going to be making the best use of his current situation, where he's got quite a large army of 50 supply at the moment, which is probably about 40 here, and the rest is still on the way. He has quite a large army, whereas Bly doesn't really have a whole lot to defend. So if True decided to just rush all his units into Bly's base, I'm not so sure that Bly would actually be able to hold off against it. Now he seems to decide to go straight into the front. Now there is 3 Ravagers here, so they will be able to put down the hurt onto True's units if he wants to. Oh, I'm almost managing to snipe off one of the Ravagers there. That's actually quite good for him. If he manages to get that all together, then he would be in quite a good position, because it'll be 1 less unit to attack him. Roach Warren is going down, so Bly no longer able to create roaches after the 6 that are currently being made. Throws down another Roach Warren already, ready to replace it. Now this is going to be the crucial moment here. If Bly manages to hold off against this Roach push, then that could spell disaster for True. But if True is going to be able to break through, and I actually think he might just have enough. With 60 army supply, he's doubling Bly's army here, and I think that this might end pretty badly for Bly right now, especially the fact that, you know, 3 bases already, and True is already ahead on workers. So I think that he will have enough to reinforce his army consistently, and I think that GG is going to be called pretty much any moment at this point. Now 50 to 17 army supply, and Bly probably knows that this is it for him. There isn't really that much that can be done. Now he did waste a bit of resources on Aspire here, which unfortunately didn't really get any use, but you know, that's unfortunately what happens sometimes. You make a call to get some sort of tech, doesn't quite work out, but it is you know, I suppose it's a game of chance when you don't have enough scouting due to whatever reason you don't have it. So that's pretty much it for game number 2. We're going to be moving on to game number 3 shortly.